Chris Gordon reporting for Infowars, San Francisco, because there's a war on for your mind, an information war that Hillary admits they are losing.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
The game of global domination that used to be played by brute force is now candid and bureaucratic, to the point where there's actually a tangible document outlining its strategy. It's called by the UN Agenda 21 because it is the agenda for the 21st century. And it sets to literally reconstruct all of life as we know it. Among those bringing light to this subject is Rosa Koire, who's not your typical California gay pro-choice feminist liberal Democrat. Her speeches are winning over Tea Party members and stirring up city planning meetings. After discovering this plan while working with landowners responding to eminent domain, she's decided to retire early in her career just to speak out with the following such warnings.
Agenda 21 is a plan to inventory and control all resources, human and natural, and all means of production in the world. And this is the process that is happening right now in every single city, town, community, in the entire world.
Agenda 21 was signed by H.W. Bush and 178 international heads of state in 1992 without congressional consent. And the 340-page plan dramatically restricts every aspect of our way of life, from economics, housing, transportation, land use, health, education, water, energy, food production, and even population control. Population control, in fact, has been so important in this plan that it's actually influenced the development of a sterilization vaccine by the US and China. The year after it was signed by Bush Sr., President Clinton initiated the President's Council on Sustainable Development, where members were actually chosen for this council from megacorporations such as Ken Lay of Enron to influence the future of that industry, such as energy. The President's Council on Sustainable Development gave a multi-million-dollar grant to the American Planning Association to create a land use blueprint to implement on a local level using eminent domain for private profit, as well as the Growing Smart legislative guidebook with model statutes for planning and the management of change. Now, this guidebook was sent to all universities to be studied by aspiring city planners. Once the indoctrination took place and they settled into their careers, models were passed down for them to follow, such as One Bay Area, meant to break up the local community governments of the San Francisco Bay Area in place for one regional one. Only this is happening everywhere. Rosa makes a strong case that popular buzzwords used by these newly trained academics, such as green, progressive, and sustainable, really equate to restriction, slavery, and death. All the while she sets an example of hope that we can set aside trivialities that don't matter and stand together for the freedom of people everywhere on earth. Her website is democratsagainst-UNagenda21.com, and you can view her presentation among the links in the references below. Our next story comes from the Wall Street Journal. The article, "California Declares War on Suburbia," states, "California has declared war on the most popular housing choice, the single-family, detached home, all in the name of saving the planet." The Association of Bay Area Governments has proposed that only 3% of new housing would be allowed on or beyond this urban fringe, or where the countryside begins, by 2035. And over 2/3 of the housing for the projected 2 million new residents of metro areas would be multifamily apartment and condo complexes along major thoroughfares centered on public transportation. Now let's go on site to view one of these housing units. Up above me is the lily plant. A symbol often associated with royalty is now associated with high-density stack-em-and-pack-em housing. We went inside to try to understand the future of such planning, and here's the report we got. What Avalon locations there are in the state or in the country?
About 35 in Northern California. This property, we have properties in Union City by the BART station, Walnut Creek by the BART station. In San Jose, a lot of our properties are right by Caltrain. Tree market's usually close to transit, yeah. So San Jose, East Bay, San Francisco, we wouldn't go into Sacramento or Stockton because there's not a lot of transit in those areas. There's quite a few in San Francisco. I mean, but in San Francisco, a lot of the restrictions are tougher. So, like on recycling, and everyone has to compost. So all of the apartment communities in San Francisco have composting as well as recycling and trash.
Okay.
But we
like
have quite
fine you if you don't compost and stuff like that. Nice.
Yeah, they fine the building if they don't have a way for people to compost the same way. It has to be as easily accessible as recycling.
Any gardens or anywhere to grow food or anything like that?
No, we don't
Nothing
have
like
a
that? No community gardens or anything?
No.
Oh.
As far as I know, new builders, when they're building new buildings, they get like tax discounts when they're building buildings to make sure that they are LEED certified.
Behind me is the parking lot that's going to be torn down in place of yet another high-density residential building. All of this in place for a new green progressive way of life centered on public transportation. These housing developments are actually subsidized by transportation tax dollars. Let's hit the streets to see what the public has to say.
My name's Zoe, and I'm from Texas.
I'm from Missouri. My name is JP.
Lynette, I'm from Las Vegas.
Would you rather live in the city or in the country?
The city.
Would you rather live in the city or in the country?
City. I've lived in the country. It sucks.
City, that's where I'm born.
Have you ever pictured San Francisco flooded as a result of global warming?
No.
I have not.
No.
Do you trust the government to save the environment?
No.
Do you trust the government to save the environment?
No.
Would you trust the government to save the environment?
No.
Would you trust a government-run program that regulated all aspects of human living in order to save the planet?
No.
If it's run by Republicans, no.
No.
What's your name? Where are you from?
France.
Cool, welcome. What's your name?
Thank you.
Mexico. I'm Katie from San Francisco.
I'm Nick. I just moved here.
Exactly.
Would you rather live in the city or in the country?
No, city, it's great. You can have everything. So,
Yeah. Over outside of the country.
Probably the city for now. It's more convenient. It's a little cheaper overall. I mean, in terms of transportation costs and things like that.
In the country, how would you feel if the government used eminent domain to take that land in order to save the species on it?
Any landholder would be appalled.
Would you trust any government to save the environment?
no. In France, we have
No.
the same trouble also. No.
Yeah, in Mexico it's the same. We don't really trust them.
Absolutely not. They can't even save Washington, D.C.
Would you trust, or would you be in favor of a government-run program that regulates all aspects of human activity in order to save the environment?
Of course not.
And would you be in favor of a government-run program that regulates all aspects of human living in order to save the environment?
Well, I don't think anybody would.
Would you trust or support a government-run program that regulates all aspects of human living in order to save the planet?
I'd have to look at it.
As long as it was agreed by the people as well.
Lastly, as we approach the 20th anniversary of the signing of Agenda 21, world leaders are congregating in Toronto in July for the World Future Forum, where among these members is none other than Maurice Strong, co-author of Agenda 21. Considering how deep and embedded the plans are for world domination and how far they've gotten, it's not easy to assure that we are winning this war on information. But I can say this for sure, we are a lot closer to victory than they would like, which is why this video needs to be shared. Links are available below, and the truth is available for all who seek it, and only when we do, where we have the power returned right where it belongs, with you, the viewer. And only will us as participants in speaking the truth will we have total victory in the information war. This is Chris Gordon, signing off.